I'm giving away this championship belt once we hit 100,000 subscribers, so go ahead and click subscribe today. Welcome back to the Ango Show. I, of course, am Ango. We got a big one. I want to kick things off with NWA. Just the other day, we were talking about Billy Corgan signing TV deals. This one is actually pretty exciting. Yeah, this is not Pluto TV. This is not some random streaming service. This isn't Fight TV or anything like that. It turns out Nick Hausman dropped an exclusive today. So there's 2 TV deals with the CW. And I'm kind of excited because when Billy Corgan teased us, he says it's a top 20 network. But did we know it was going to be the CW? House of Wrestling has learned that the top 20 network that Corgan was referring to is the CW. Some logistics are being worked out, but an official announcement should be coming relatively soon. The 2 TV deals that Corgan mentioned are for 2 different NWA products that will air on the CW. NWA Power, and a reality TV show about the day-to-day, behind-the-scenes business of the NWA. Yeah, kudos to Billy Corgan. This is cool, man. This is like the type of stuff that you want to see in the pro wrestling industry. Whether or not you're a big fan of NWA, this is something that we should be celebrating as wrestling fans because very clearly the NWA getting a TV deal such as this one could be actually a really good thing for its overall growth. I want to see NWA really invest in itself. And obviously, you know, that could be somewhat difficult logistically and financially. But at the same time, too, if NWA can really get off the ground with this TV deal and they can make some key signings, that would be huge. And let's just be real, right? The NWA put the title belt on Tyrus. They built the wrong guy, and then they gave the belt to EC3. I want this company to do well, but they've made some questionable choices. And when you look at NWA prior to the pandemic, it was a little bit of a different company. So things have clearly changed, but I want to see them win. This is great. This is cool to see happen. I'm excited about it. Obviously, we will wait for the formal announcement, but I think NWA going onto a TV network that is relatively popular. I mean, it's not the most popular TV network, but it's a pretty good one, and it's available in a lot of homes. A lot of people will have access to this channel. I think that's a good thing. And I think it's going to be a very, very good thing for NWA as they just try to grow their business and stuff. Now, the real question here is, will NWA Power change time slots? Because right now it's on Tuesdays at 6:05. I'm curious if that will remain the same. And also, there's a lot of intrigue about the reality show. I think that could be a really, really good thing for the NWA. So, obviously, I'm going to be excited about that. I want to turn our attention to Serena Deeb. There's been a lot of talk about Serena Deeb. Does she have issues with AEW? Is she injured? She hasn't been seen in AEW since, I want to say October of last year. It's been really weird of a scenario. There's been talks of her having some backstage heat. Fightful Select reported today that the former NWA Women's Champion was backstage at last Saturday's AEW Collision event. Those at the show who spoke with Fightful noted they didn't see her at any AEW shows this year, and the area she was at Collision isn't anywhere near where she would have just been visiting. So this wasn't a situation where she would just be kind of hanging around, oh, I'm going to go to Collision. There was obviously a reason why she was there. Obviously, there's been a lot of conversation about Serena Deeb and whether or not there's heat, whether or not she's injured. What's the situation there? We can always speculate. We can always talk about that. But what I really want to talk about is how great Serena Deeb is. And now Hikaru Shida is the AEW Women's Champion. And some of my favorite stuff in the women's division in AEW history was between Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida. So if I'm Tony Khan, let's make it happen. There's something that could happen there that would be very good. Serena Deeb, a veteran, talented person, great wrestler. A lot of great things have been said about Serena Deeb. She's the type of person that you want in that women's division. And in addition to that, if they decide to revisit Hikaru Shida and Serena Deeb, I think it could make a lot of sense. Keep in mind, AEW announced Hikaru Shida versus Emi Sakura for tonight's Dynamite. So you bring in Serena Deeb, that could be a really fun, cool element of a surprise. And the good thing is it gets things back on track. Obviously, she has to be cleared. So if there is an issue with her health-wise, we want her to be healthy first and foremost. And if there's any sort of backstage heat or whatever the case may be based on those previous reports, squash it, right? Squash the issues, get this company going with good booking, put the right people on TV, and build your business the right way. Ultimately, very excited for Serena Deeb, and I'm very excited if she is going to get involved with Hikaru Shida, because like I said, it was something I very much enjoyed. And for our final topic of today's video, we are talking about Randy Orton. It sounds like he could be coming back for Survivor Series. There's been a lot of reports, a lot of things being teased, a lot of things being said about Randy Orton potentially coming back into the WWE, back into WWE television as an active competitor. So a lot of people are expecting this. We're going to talk a little bit more in detail. Obviously, when it comes to Randy Orton, it kind of sounded like he wasn't going to be back. And then it kind of sounded like he's going to be back in time for WrestleMania, and that didn't happen. Then it sounded like he was going to be back in time for SummerSlam, and that didn't happen. Guys, WWE's in a very tricky spot right now because they're teasing Cody and Roman. They got to get Cody to SmackDown permanently. How are they going to do that? And who will be the star presence of Raw when Cody is gone? Randy Orton needs to be a top heel in the WWE. Randy Orton needs to be in top programs on WWE Raw. But in addition to that, perhaps maybe WWE can move LA Knight to Monday Night Raw to kind of fill in the void with Cody leaving Monday Night Raw. That's kind of how I would go about things if I were the WWE. Clearly, you don't have to change anything or do anything right off the rip and rush into that. However, if Randy Orton is cleared in time for Survivor Series, and if that is the point in time when he is going to return to WWE, then I have a little fantasy booking scenario. And the fantasy booking scenario that I have is actually quite simple. I would have Randy Orton come back as a babyface for War Games. He should be able to help out Jey Uso and Sami Zayn and everybody that's going against the Judgment Day / Bloodline, because clearly that looks like the direction WWE is headed. And if you have the Judgment Day and Bloodline team up, you get Randy Orton as the babyface guy. You get the massive pop in Chicago. He's the mystery guest, mystery ally, right? And then when you have Randy Orton return, the baby faces, they could lose, they can win. It doesn't necessarily matter what happens, but something needs to happen in that match where it clicks like this, and Randy Orton needs to turn heel. And I would not wait long. You're doing the slow burn with Drew McIntyre, phenomenal. With Randy Orton, you should make it very clearly he is going to be one of the top villains on WWE Raw. This is amazing. First of all, wrestling is incredible right now. A lot of great things are happening, but it's amazing because for a while it kind of sounded like Randy Orton might not be able to actually return. Now it looks like it's going to happen. Obviously, we want to see that. You know what else I want to see? I want to see one of you guys win this championship belt, and I'm going to be giving it away once I hit 100,000 subscribers. So go ahead and click subscribe today.